Today's guest is a public relations specialist. So let's learn how that can help a business.
Building spirituality, family, health, and business. This is the Giant Builders with Lois Wyant.
Welcome, Giant Builders. Today's guest is Andrea Pass, and she is a public relations specialist. So if you know of somebody who's a business, an author, a nonprofit, anytime like that, anything of that nature, this is definitely an episode for them to see because we are going to learn so much about press releases. Hi, Andrea. How are you?
I'm fine, Lois. Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Oh, well, I was always that kid in high school writing the press releases and hanging flyers everywhere. And anytime a committee or a show at the high school needed a press person, I always jumped up. And I went to college to study broadcasting. I was going to be a broadcaster. I majored in radio, TV, film, but I still took public relations classes, and I still volunteered to be the PR chair of every committee I was on. And when I got out of college and I went to CBS in New York City and eventually got a job in PR for the CBS radio division in media relations, I said, I really love this. And why shouldn't you stick with something that you love? And I realized I didn't want to globetrot and be a reporter all over the globe. I wanted a career that I loved, as well as being able to balance that with what I call a white picket fence. I wanted the family, I want the suburbs, I wanted volunteerism, I wanted community. And so that's how I came to public relations, stuck with it for a long time with agencies. And a number of years ago, the opportunity finally presented itself for me to go out on my own and hang up my sign for Andrea Pass Public Relations. And I have to tell you, I love being a solopreneur, and I love being able to secure PR content for my clients. So in a nutshell, that's all about my career.
Well, that's great. I love the advancements that you've made. Tell me, what's the difference between public relations and advertising?
And that's such an important question because so many people think that they are one and the same. And in advertising, you buy time or space. In advertising, you control the message because you've written that message. And people can be skeptical when it's advertising because they know you paid for it. In public relations, it is editorial content, which can translate to editorial endorsement. That journalist, and that's real journalist, is only going to cover things that they want to cover. You cannot manipulate the story. You have to tell the facts. The journalist frequently checks the facts. And therefore, they're giving you that content and giving you a platform to talk about your topic. So whether you are a business that has a service and educational information to share, and we all do, we all have educational information to share, or you have a product or a book, or you're a nonprofit. Public relations is all about press coverage. And that's the difference. In advertising, you're spending a ton of money. You can pay $10,000 or more for a print ad. And someone sees it once. And we all know the old fashioned, you need to hear or see something 7 times before it resonates with you. In public relations, you're reaching different audiences where they want to be. They're reading that newspaper or magazine. They're watching that TV show or listening to that radio show. They're absorbing content on a podcast or a blog. So you know that the audiences that are learning about your business, your product, your service in public relations want to be there. And it is not, in essence, shoved down their throats. And advertising can sometimes be that way.
For sure. So what are the benefits of participating in like a press interview?
I think the excitement about a press interview is to get to tell your story or your information. And of course, press interviews vary. You're going to have a sound bite, which could be a few seconds, or you're going to have a long form interview that gets you to really dive deep into your topic. But by participating in interviews, you are reaching audiences, and most importantly, you are educating them. You're not selling them on your product, on your service. You're telling them what it means. And so they have a better understanding of, do they need this business coach? Do they need this new set of cookware? Would they be interested in this book? Is the content in the book something they're going to learn from or enjoy? So to participate in interviews gives you, the business owner, content. And we're all about content these days. And I joke when I am on a meeting that's first thing in the morning and I said, who absorbed content today? And everyone will look at each other. And I'll say, who read a blog or listened to a podcast or turned on the TV or read a newspaper? And suddenly every single hand goes up because we are absorbing content all day long. You're scrolling social media and there are articles and interviews and more. And you want that content. We just thrive on this knowledge that every day we want to learn something new and absorb as much as we can. So by you participating in interviews, you are helping to spread the word on your business and tell others more about it. And then they're going to say, wait a minute, I think I need to reach out to that business. So public relations interviews are key to your marketing mix in your business. So make sure that's part of it.
Well, how does one grow awareness using media coverage?
Well, I think it's really up to who your target audiences are. And we have to remember that target audiences wear so many hats. So here today, I'm talking to you about public relations, but it doesn't mean that I don't enjoy travel and I don't like to go out to dinner, or the fact that I'm in a book group. So the fact is think about it. Everybody has so many interests. We wear so many different hats. I have elderly parents, so I'm very interested in topics pertaining to caregiving and direction for helping elderly parents. I have millennial children, so I'm interested in those topics. So even though today I am here as Andrea Pass Public Relations, remember that your audience wears so many hats. So really the most important thing is understanding where they absorb that content. And so it could be a website that has 1.5 million unique views a month, or it could be a blogger that has 900 unique views a month. Don't base it on numbers. Base it on getting your message out and reaching one, and reaching one more, and reaching one more. And that's what's going to help you grow your business when it comes to the media you're going to reach out to.
Two things come to my mind as you were talking. Number one is that with the internet, it's like we have so many things available to us. It's like somebody could be sitting there going, oh, well, yeah, I like this PR thing. I'll just Google it, but there's so many places that you can be. And it's nice to have somebody like you to be more of a director and saying, well, now this won't be good for you, but this would be good for you. But the other thing that I was listening is your reach one. We're all caught up in the Kardashian mentality of, oh, we need to get on that type of a social media. Whereas being on a social media with like 100 people that are really focused in on your message would be so much more beneficial. So am I going in the right direction?
Certainly. I mean, if you have a specialty, you should be reaching out to the publication for that trade organization and seeing if they'll do a feature on you. Of course, you'd have to be a member of that organization before they would include you, but you're reaching a target audience. But I think the most important aspect is that when you have a publicist, an outside publicist, and public relations is affordable, don't immediately discount it because it's not coming in at $25,000 a month. It's not coming in as, oh, this one placement is $100,000. No, public relations is affordable on a monthly basis. And having an experienced public relations professional know how to pitch your story makes you bigger. Someone else is handling, oh, I have to get this information to my publicist. And suddenly you're bigger. You could be a one-person business. But if you have a PR representative, that person is handling everything. And quite honestly, the amount of back and forth to book interviews or stories or get something to happen, you don't have that time. You're working on your business. By surrounding yourself with experts, that's going to help you grow your business. And I know I always joke, I go to the beauty salon to have my hair done because I know I could never do it myself, or I go to the dentist for my dental work. You should be going to a professional PR person to do your press coverage because it's all going to get done. And a funny story is I have a client of mine who wrote a book, and she's also a holistic therapist. And the other day we were talking about what our next steps are. And she said to me, Andrea, I need to take 2 months off. You've gotten me so much press that I am filled with clients and I don't have time to write my next book. So we're taking off 2 months so that she can write her next book before we continue our PR. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I did such a good job that I lost a client for 2 months. But I'd much rather have that client happy and have that client have a full schedule and work on her next book so I can get out there and do PR outreach for her next book. But if you have a PR representative, we're going to do the research and book that interview and prepare you for that interview and make sure that the interviewer has everything that the interviewer needs. Website, social media pages, headshot, biography. You don't have to worry about that back and forth. And if an interview gets switched, which happens, we have a busy world, things happen, interviews get switched. Your PR person will take care of all of that instead of you worrying about all of it. And so I recommend engaging with an outside public relations person because that will increase your media coverage.
What does a first meeting look like?
A first meeting looks like, tell me about yourself. Tell me about your goals. Tell me about your business. And getting to know one another. And I think we have learned, especially over the past number of years, is we do business with people we know, like, and trust. Yes, it's corny, but it's the truth. So do we gel? That's very important. I want to gel with my clients. If we don't gel, it's okay. We'll move on. But that first meeting is us gelling and learning about one another and also setting realistic expectations. Who doesn't want to be in the Wall Street Journal? But not everyone is Wall Street Journal worthy today. Let's build you up. Let's get others to talk about you. Certainly you want to be on Good Morning America or the Today Show, but you might not have a topic that is appropriate for those venues. Let's come up with what is the right venue for you, the right media to reach. What is the story? So that's what the first meeting is going to be like. And another thing that I'd like to sort of jump in on is people say to me, when should we start PR? And I say today. As long as you have a website and social media platforms that you are involved in, and I'm not talking about posting pictures of your cat or dog, so it's social media that are business oriented, that you've been posting on an interesting article, a factoid, whatever, then you are ready to get the message out. If you have a book, start PR a number of months before the book is available. So let's get people talking about it. If you have a product, the product must be available. We don't want anyone to say, well, I'd like to review that product and we can't send it to them because it won't be available for 6 months. So most of the answer is start public relations today. You don't have to wait till a certain time in the year.
Any closing thoughts?
Public relations is right for any business. No matter what your business or service is, no matter what your product is, or your book is, or your nonprofit is, there is an audience that is going to benefit from public relations, reaching the media, having you quoted, reviewed in content so that more people learn about your business and you have that editorial endorsement that you can use on your website and in your social media. So public relations is really for everyone.
Well, thank you, Andrea. That was great information. And I will have all of your contact information below. So if any of the listeners would like to reach you, it'll be an easy click. So
that's wonderful. I'd like to offer all of your audience a complimentary half-hour public relations consultation, which you can set some time on the appointments tab on AndreaPassPR.com.
All right, we'll put that below. Thank you, Andrea. That was great information. We'll see you next time, Giant Builders.
Thank you for listening. This has been The Giant Builders with Lois Wyant.